Hi guys, Jason the Phone Boy here. I wanted to kind of have a discussion over here by the firelight. Just outside, it's about 40 degrees or so here in the state of Florida. Just outside doing a fire, and some thoughts were running through my head. So I wanted to kind of have a little discussion, I guess, about prepping and shit hits the fan. I've come to realize that there are basically 3 different preppers out there. Now, this discussion is, more or less kind of for you to think about what type of prepper you are and why exactly you're prepping for whatever you're prepping for. What are you expecting to happen? And why are you getting prepared? So, the 3 different types of preppers that I see out there are first your tactical prepper. Now this is the guy, he goes out, he gets a lot of guns, he gets a lot of weapons. Generally has a lot of things like MREs. More or less he has preserved foods. He doesn't really worry too much about making his own food or preparing for his own meals. So this guy is probably your most dangerous because he attracts those people who want to go out and do bad things. They are kind of waiting for a without rule of law situation to happen so that they can go out and basically fight against the government. So I'm gonna move this camera back a little bit so I don't get that smoke coming into the cavity here. So this guy, he attracts those people who want to fight the government, and many of your tactical preppers are already that way themselves. They want something to happen so that they can pick up their arms and take it to the White House. Not all of them, but some of them. But your tactical prepper, he's your guy that he's ready for a nuclear attack. He's got a lot of NBC equipment and modular equipment. Vests, probably a bulletproof vest or something. And he's got a bunker somewhere. Of course, you have to have a bunker if you're going to be one of these guys. So the way that I look at these guys is, if something was to happen, they're more or less lone wolves, and they're going to be sitting in a situation somewhere where they're all by themselves. They don't really have much of a group mentality, which is sad because you really need that. You really need, a group. But anyway, there you go. So you've got your tactical preppers. Your next on my list would be your survival preppers. These guys, they are prepared to go out and live in the woods. Live off the land. They know their plants, they know their animals, and that's what they're prepared to do. Go out and survive, basically, off of the land. They're typically your nicer guys, but they too are more of a loner, because they're going to go out, they're going to stick around in the forest. They go on long camping trips and do a lot of things. But I think they're better suited for a shit hits the fan situation because of the fact that they are not ready to just pick up guns and go killing people. Put more fuel on this side. So you've got your survivalist preppers. They're more like cavemen, really. They're not really they don't have a whole lot of electrical or technical equipment. They're really kind of kind of, I don't know how to put the word. They're minimalists. You know, they've got the bare items. They got a knife, possibly an axe. You know, very minimal items. And then your last type of prepper is your homestead prepper. I'm kind of moving some wood around over here. Your homestead prepper is prepared both with weapons and with food. They're basically going to stand their ground in their home. Now, they obviously have contingency plans for bugging out in case of an emergency. But for the most part, they intend on staying in the place they live and holding the fort down if somebody comes attacking them. These people have a great sense of community. They have a group of people involved with them that if something were to happen, they can all get together, and you've got medics, you've got people who know how to store food, you got people who have a green thumb and are great at growing food. You have a person who is good at supplying weapons, knows weapons, has ammo. You've got people who know real well about water, and when you look at it, you've got a really good community situation going on, in your homestead preppers. So, I don't really know of any more kind of preppers out there, but I look at all these different types of preppers, and I think to myself, when I become a full-on prepper, I want to be a homestead prepper. I want to be able to protect my family, but also stay in my house. Because I don't want to have to run off into the woods, and realistically, with a wife and a child, I can't go off and be a lone wolf. I can't go live in the woods and survive off the land, because I've got a wife and a child to take care of. I can't realistically pick up arms and go running into the government hoping that I'm going to win, because I have a wife and a child to take care of. So, I guess what I'm discussing or wanting to discuss here is, what kind of prepper are you? What exactly are you preparing for? Which we'll get to that in another video. But what is your end game? Are you wanting to just survive? Are you wanting to fight? Or are you wanting to keep a sense of community in this world in order to keep things well-rounded and the way they are now, just with a few bugs in the way? So it's just a thought, really. I think it's good for people to step back and look at what they're doing and why they're doing it. I see a lot of these shit hits the fan videos, and I see a lot of these people that they have this mentality that what's going to end up happening is some kind of war, and that's what they're prepared for. Well, if it's not a war, if it's something else, will they be prepared? Will you be prepared? So it's more or less just to kind of throw out there to think about what type of prepper you are and what your goal as a prepper is. What kind of prepper you want to be. So shoot me some comments. Let me know a couple of things. This is really just a discussion and a thought, running through my head. But I put a lot of thought into it. After watching a lot of videos and learning a lot of things about preppers, I know I want to be a homestead prepper. And raise my own animals and raise my own food and things like that. So, hope this helps you out any. I don't know. There may be somebody out there like me that's just kind of like, I don't know what I want to do. And this is a really good place to start. First, figure out what your game plan is, what you want to be. And then you need to worry about what kind of disaster are you planning on, which is going to be the next video. So, leave some comments and have a discussion, you know, and I appreciate your views. Thanks, guys.